The show is called Baseline, and I am Chris Bass. Welcome back into the fold, my people. When you download the Urban Broadcast Media app on your smartphone, you make us a part of your life. Show email, I am chrisbass@gmail.com. Facebook.com/Chris Bass, CHRIS, B as in broadcasting, ASE. Twitter.com @Chris Bass, all one word. And the phone number for you to connect is 312-754-4333. That's 312-754-4333. Been waiting this for a while. Trent, roll that beautiful bean footage. This correspondent is no stranger to radio. She was a host for many years on WLS-AM as a very popular talk show host. Also worked at WYLL-AM as well. She has worked at various places. Over the years, she's been a frequent guest on television talk programs such as WTV here in Chicago, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, and many more. Since last year, she operated her own company, Deborah Communications, a consulting firm that specializes in working with small to mid-sized organizations. It is my honor and a privilege to have this program on within this show. I've known her for years, a stellar broadcaster and a better person to bring us Deborah's World. Please, the premiere of Welcoming to Baseline, Deborah Rowe.
Hey, Chris.
How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I know you're fine, but how you doing?
Haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah, I figured to dust the mothballs off of that one, right?
I'm doing good. I'm like shaking after hearing your wonderful intro. That was nice.
Oh, well, thank you. All my correspondents say that, so I know I'm doing the right thing.
You are.
Harold Lee Rush, who does the 18-minute gap, told me that he only comes in for the introductions only.
Actually, I started looking around like, Deborah, who?
See? I look over both shoulders to see I got the right person, right?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, let me say thank you so much, Chris, for just inviting me to be a part of your program. As you've said, we've known each other. We've worked in the same environment, but never at the same time. Correct. On the air. Right. So this is a first, and it's been a long time coming, and I'm glad that the time is here.
Same here.
I really, really am. Also, let me say this, too. I have worked at, as you said, many other stations, and oftentimes I used a different name. I worked as Lisa Alexander on GCI 1390 and other places, but this has to be, and I'm not kidding, this is the most beautiful facility I have ever been in. This is truly the most beautiful facility I have ever been in. And you're not the first and probably not the last, because last time somebody said that was my guest in here, was Johnny Cool Out Starks. Okay. And Cool Out, I used to work with Cool Out back at VON for Cool Out Radio. And I had him on a Friday to come by, when we had as my guest, and he said the exact same thing about the setup, the layout, how it is here at UBM. People, let me tell you right now, yes, we are on the south side. Yes, we are in beautiful Bronzeville. But this place, I should say, and this place, it is gorgeous. We are in a brownstone. And when you walk in, it's like you have walked into a brownstone in Lincoln Park. The decor is gorgeous. The wood floors, all of the beautiful artwork, the furniture, and the studios, the facilities. See, broadcast is what it is, but internet is where it's at. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. But it's a good hook. I mean, I remember when I was first brought here to potentially have a show here, and I was given the grand tour. It is amazing how they were able to just take this wonderful brownstone, like you said, this great brownstone, historically known in the neighborhood, and then turn it into a broadcast facility. Is just phenomenal, because to say what you want, a lot of people, of course, pass by here, don't know what's inside. Yeah. They have no idea. They can come by and get free tours, and somebody will be here to to give them the hookup, so to speak, and let them go. I'm telling you, it is really state-of-the-art equipment, and it's nice to know that you're a part of historic neighborhoods such as Bronzeville. Cool. I'm glad to be here. I really am. They say he's like the front runner right now for the Republicans.
Okay.
So we'll get to that in
Right.
just a bit. But I also want to, if we can hit on this as well,
Sure.
with Baltimore and the uprising there. Okay, the riots there, not necessarily an uprising, because to me, uprising actually suggests that, there's people who have just been suppressed for so long, and now we're going to fight back. I think some people want to say that's what all of that was, maybe, but I think the people who are actually rioting, like President Obama said, were criminals. He said, but I want to talk about Baltimore and Ferguson and some other things. At what point are we going to, as a nation, Chris, focus, campaign, encourage men to help raise their children? I think this is I think it's a national health crisis, actually. I honestly do. There is a direct correlation. If you go across the country, if you take a map, you look at areas where there's no dad, they tend to be high poverty. They tend to have high crime. So what explanation could there be other than maybe dads play a real important role here?
Well, because I had a father in the home, and because I knew who my dad was, I can't even fathom what it would be like not to have one.
Yeah.
So I come from that perspective. Having said that, a father who's a true father by the sense of definition of not just the process of doing the mattress mambo and a woman gets 9 months pregnant and then out comes the kid, and then not everybody has the maternal or paternal instincts to be a parent. They just don't. They don't have it within them. They can have sex, of course, but not the responsibility of being a parent after the child gets here. So it becomes very selective. Now, also having said that, when it comes to the father not being in the home, I do believe that it is important for a child to know their father if the father wants to be a father.
But I think it's more than knowing, who dad is.
Yeah, but see, the father has to want relationship with the child.
Well, that's true. And it just makes me wonder, and not being a man, not being obviously a dad, and having been raised, again, with my dad, it just makes me wonder, but what is the process? What's the mental process that says, okay, I'm going to sleep with her. Oh, she's pregnant. Oh, bye-bye. You're not wanting to have a connection with your child.
Because unfortunately and once I'm just playing Dr. Phil for a couple of seconds, on the radio here, I think what most men in this situation do is the conquest of having sex with the woman, and that's it. And then if the mistake happens to be that she, gets pregnant, the connection that he only cared about was to have sex with her, and that's it. It takes, once again, a certain individual to be responsible and say, you know what, we're going to raise this child together. And even if we're not together, I still want to be the father, of course, to this child and let this son or daughter know that I exist. And then you have the ones who just completely disconnect because they don't understand it or don't want to understand it.
And I think understanding is really a real big aspect of the problem here. I wonder, Chris, how many people, if they really, and I mean men in particular, and even young men, really young men, because a lot of teenage boys are also fathers.
Right.
How many of them would do things differently if they really understood that your not being with your child pretty much increases the chances that they're going to live in poverty, that they're going to live in a high crime area, that they're going to have real trouble in school, on and on and on and on and on. I don't think a lot of people really know that.
Right.
Because here's another statistics. This is from the Census Bureau.
Sure.
47.5% of, this is black women, now this one was strictly black women, who are single heads of household over the age of 18 live in poverty. In fact, they rank at the bottom of the list in terms of poverty. They're the poorest of all Americans. Black women who are single heads of households who had their children out of wedlock. Compare that to married couples, black married couples, 8.1% are in poverty. Difference 47.5
to 8.1%.
to 8.1%. So essentially what you're really doing, you're assigning your child a life that's going to be pretty pretty tough. And there's no coincidence, even with Freddie Gray. That's pretty much his story. Mm-hmm. That was pretty much the story of the other young man, Michael Brown. This is not blaming the victims.
Right.
This is about men leaving their children just exposed. And that's why I wrote about that, because I do care. It's really a big issue for me, because I know that as a nation, Chris, we have the resources and the ability to really do an all-out campaign. Just launch an all-out campaign. We do that with seatbelt safety. We've done that. You know, you see the ads everywhere. You see the posters, the PSAs. We've done it with AIDS awareness. Mm. We've done it with smoking. We've done it with forest fires. We've done it with get fit.
What about the people who did get married and had a crappy family life and crappy marriage?
Yeah, and I've got that in the piece too.
Right.
People who were married and got divorced, their lives are not too, their children's lives actually are not too much different from parents that stayed married. It's the idea of and I guess it goes back to what we hear all the time. Kids need mom and dad. And I think even deeper, kids have to have a sense that my dad cared enough about me to stay around, to be involved. Maybe he wasn't living here, but dad was always there for me. A lot of kids can't say that.
No, that's true.
They can't say that.
Right.
And, you know, in the blog post, and I think Baltimore Part 2, the part nobody wants to talk about, that's the name of the blog post you'll find on my blog, Deborah's World. I have to go through the whole long address, deborah.blogspot.com. But that's where you'll find it. But there are even young men themselves who open. They're very open, and they talk about the anger, the resentment that they have for not knowing their fathers.
It comes down to, I think at the same time, Deborah, you know, just wanting the basic. And wanting the basic is wanting your mother and father.
That's it.
Right. You know, and the basic, unfortunately, has become gravitated towards an obtainable goal, unfortunately, with these fathers being absent or not even showing up to acknowledge that they have children. And so when you leave that, it not only is a gap in the child's life and when they become older, it also shows about dealing with them as an older relationship with other people.
Now you're going into something else that, to me, is so obvious, yet nobody talks about it. When you have communities where there are large numbers of families without a father, and the young men actually are not, they don't know the modeling for being a husband or being a father or being a responsible male. Often, do you know, the research shows that you have a high number of those young men who become predatory. And by that meaning, they don't take the position of protecting the community.
Right.
They take the position of preying on the community. Thus, you get your high incidence of crimes, open shootings, and things of that nature. I hear you. I'm not even so much worried at the moment about the 5 and 6-year-olds. It's the 13, 14, 17, 18-year-olds who have that same mentality. I'm a damn man.
Right.
I'll come in your yard. Not only will I throw your rocks, I might throw one at you.
But see, that's my point.
He ain't his damn daddy.
See, that type of stuff. See, exactly. Right. Even though I'm a grown ass man, you know what I'm saying? You know, really. I mean, and the fact that, and that's just one person. But my point is, that could be a great opportunity for him.
Absolutely.
Had the mother said yes. But see, we don't know the dynamics between the mother and his father and things of that nature. Because sometimes some of these mothers just continue to hate the child because it's a constant reminder of the father.
That's when it gets really, really ugly.
Yeah.
I guess just for me, though, what made me think about this whole issue, just looking at all of the coverage of Baltimore, and again, it's important. In any stable society, every citizen has to feel protected by law enforcement. I want to be real clear about that. But just watching people, some of them were just jubilant as they were throwing stuff and running around, and then others were serious. But it was a lot of people who were just out there for fun. It was a lot of young men, too. And it got me to thinking, with all of the politicians and the celebrities and the experts and everybody talking about what we've got to do to protect black people from police, I said, well, wait a minute, they must not come to a lot of other communities like Chicago and And Mayor Manuel's going to get me for saying that, isn't
Oh, no, that's not go ahead.
I noticed he doesn't like you to say negative stuff about Chicago.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Don't apologize.
But if you go to places across the country where there's high crime, nobody talks about that. I mean, what was it? Last summer, we had just an unimaginably high number of murders in Chicago.
Yes.
And I was waiting for, like, all of the politicians and the celebrities and the coverage and all of that stuff, and it was nothing. Every other weekend, this kid was shot, this kid was shot, this man, this woman, and nobody cares. So I'm just simply saying this. If black lives really matter, don't just wait until somebody who incidentally may have been doing something illegal anyway gets into a bad situation with police. Get involved now. We really need to encourage people. Call and all of this kind of stuff. We've got to get a campaign going. We have got to reorient young men. And here, just in case you're not black and you're listening and you're thinking, boy, do they have their problems? Wait a minute, because those statistics also show 52% of Hispanics are now born out of wedlock, and almost 30% of white children are born out of wedlock, and that's actually a huge number because the numbers of whites in this country obviously far larger than the 13% of blacks. So if you're talking 30% there, this is a problem, in other words.
I'm really glad that you signed on to do Deborah's World here, because one thing I just say is, I'll say it again, I think the world of you. I literally, before you named it Deborah's World, and the fact that you've always brought real radio to what you did. And no offense to our contemporaries and things like that. I know as a business, people do what they want to do to survive, but you get it straight, no chaser, and that's what I always appreciated about what you do, what you're doing now. So to listen to it and to now be with you and see it and hear it, I'm through the roof.
Oh,
this is just great. No, seriously, because we need more of that, because sometimes, I don't know about you, maybe you see it a different way, but the way things go nowadays, when it comes to news, information, or entertainment, it becomes like the same thing.
Chris.
Yes.
All right. Can we talk about this this marijuana?
Sure.
Here.
Go right ahead. Puff, puff, pass, pass.
Weird response.
After smoking weed?
Yes.
All right. Okay, how old is she again?
Well, they all are in their 60s.
Okay, right, okay.
Easily.
So she doesn't want to have sex.
Nope.
She doesn't want to eat, get the munchies.
She doesn't want Doritos.
She wants to iron.
She wants to iron. And her friend says, you're kind of weird.
She got to smoke some more weed. I bet she changed her mind. Keep smoking that weed, though.
Another one says, I really feel like the muscles here in my neck seem not as tight. Her neck muscles are loosening.
That's some weird-ass grandmother.
Chris, these are women who had never, ever, ever smoked a joint.
I understand that, but sometimes the inhibitions of people usually come out more, and they're not, kind of like tight or wearing a mask. They're loosening up. They do stuff they probably wouldn't do, stuff like that. This one wants to iron, and and her neck, and almost neck hurting. Come on, I mean,
they are grannies.
Yeah, but they still have a life. I know grannies who still have. I know grannies who still have sex. They can still, look. Just because you're older now, you don't know how to lick the jar. I mean, they can still do what they gotta do.
If I can get this bag of chips open, I'll be okay. She couldn't open her bag of Doritos.
Did they sound like that when they were doing this?
Kind of.
Or you embellished it?
Okay. Actually, I'm playing it down a little bit. Chris, I told you when you approached me about doing the program here, Deborah's World, within Baseline with Chris Base, so I call it a show within a show.
Exactly. That
I wanted to bring my girl with me, Eibur. This is my longtime friend. I guess some people use the word road dog. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's a wonderful, wonderful person, incredibly talented, kind, generous, Miss Eibur Manuel.
Thank you, Deb. First of all, thank you, Chris, and thank you, Deborah, for having me on. This is going to be fun, I'm sure. I'm a little bit nervous because I haven't done this in a while. My sister had a Christian radio show years ago, Charlene Stepney, and I used to co-host it with her. Yeah. And that was fun. I've done access cable for Dr. P. She produced a show called Hotel Holistic Health Club.
Dr. Gloria Peace?
Hotel Holistic Health Club for her for a while, so that was a blast. I'm an actress, and I'm a vocalist. I'm a singer-songwriter, all that kind of stuff. I do voiceover for radio and television, and I do whatever.
Hold up, wait a minute. I got to stop it because the way she just glams right over there, glosses right over that. I mean, she is really good. And just talk about some of the voiceover work you've done, some of the spots and TV work.
Oh, make sure you talk right to the microphone so you get every word you're saying.
Yeah, you know what? I may need a little turn up too.
Okay.
Of course, McDonald's keeps everybody going. Can I say that?
Sure, go right ahead.
That's bread and butter. But, but just national things I've done. I was part of the Jill family for a short while there.
Payless, Walmart. Right? I could go on. See, she's
go on. Okay, but that's I'm not going to give away my age. I'm just going to say I've been doing it for a minute.
No,
that's what we do.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Also, I wanted to talk very briefly about my dad. My dad's name was Charles Stepney, and he is a Chicago legend. As far as I'm concerned, he was
Wait a minute. Hold up. Not just as far as you're concerned.
Oh, right.
Because she's going to explain more about her dad. But it's just important because we're in Chicago.
Right.
And he's more than a legend to just you.
Right.
I mean, like, worldwide.
He's most famous for being Earth, Wind & Fire's producer, writer, and arranger. But he also started here in Chicago on Record Row with Chess Records. And he did Minnie Riperton. He worked with, Buddy Howlin' Wolf, Buddy Miles, Marlena Shaw, Etta James. I was just at a session the other day, and this guy was like, "Oh, is that her dad?" Like, he did my first session at Chess Records, Cato. So, yeah, he's worked with a lot of
Dales.
Oh, the Dales.
Williams. I'm going to go on.
The Emotions. Right. Ramsey Lewis. How could I leave Ramsey Lewis out? Yeah, it does kind of go on. So that's good. Yeah. By the way, I just want a little pub. We're doing a chess club, and because we want to preserve the history.
Like chess, like the game, the board game?
No. It's named after Chess Records.
Okay.
So some friends of ours, we want to preserve the history of Chess Records and a legacy for the families, because in the record industry, the families get left to kind of handle the business and don't know what they're doing, and we stumble through it. So we want to be a resource center and like a historical archive for the patriarchs that are left, and for the people who will inherit this intellectual property that is world-renowned, as you say, especially the blues, especially, coming out of Chicago. It's a big deal around the world. And so we're trying to bring the families together. So you guys go to Facebook and look up the Chess Club if you are an alumni or if you're a family member, and let us know, if you want to be a part and you want to archive your stories and tell us, who your family members were or what you did with Chess Records to be preserved and honored and well kept.
That's really
Thank
cool.
you guys for letting me do that too.
Oh, that's
not a
cool.
problem.
That needs to be done. It's about preservation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's world history. Like this music is part of world music history, not just Chicago music history.
And you know what, Chris, since Eibur, she'll be coming once a month with me.
Sure.
So we'll have plenty of time to talk about other stuff. I think we can just spend another minute on this because for like younger people even, they have actually heard a lot of your father's music from people like MC Hammer and Lauryn Hill and on, and they don't even Jay-Z, and they don't even know that. So
this is true, and we got to thank the hip hop community. Although my sister is a hip hop community herself, but we have to thank them because for the hip hop community, he actually is well known. Don't wear that if you're over 40, and your jeans should be high up on your waist. And you should. I saw my daughter was showing me the pictures at that big fashion show, and Beyonce had on this gorgeous dress that was all cut out, and I was like, I love that dress, but like Mama's gonna need some more sequins, okay? We're gonna need some more rhinestones and crystals, but yeah, you can still do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so also, but this is not just younger people. I don't even know if it's younger people because I'm divorced now. I get a lot of men that are way too young for me. And that's another, I'm not sure if I should be flattered or irritated. That's really confusing. And my friends all go, girl, they think you desperate. Girl, they think you desperate because you getting older, girl. And girl, you got to do this. And I'm like, no, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to settle for anything. Excuse me. I'm going to wear the jeans I want. I'm going to wear the hair I want. I'm going to wear the makeup, and I'm good.
Well,
I look good.
People don't like that, though.
I know.
And Chris, now here's what I'm thinking. If you see a woman, and I'm going to put a woman's age well above ours, but let's say a woman in her 60s, and she's walking around, and she has some tight-fitted jeans that's swung real low, and she's got, really high-fashion makeup on, and she's got a super low-cut top, and maybe her midriff is showing. And I'm not even saying necessarily that she has a six-pack, but she just feels like wearing something to show her stomach.
Because she thinks
People
she's sexy.
find that appalling.
They do.
Don't say you like that, Chris. You would find that appalling as well.
And you know what?
I'm
I'm not even going to say that it's tasteful, but I am going to say it's her damn business. Why can't she do what she wants to do?
But Chris, would you be offended not offended, appalled if you saw? You wouldn't?
No, because once again, the old adage, it's in the eyes of the beholder.
Okay.
What beauty is. I have no problem looking at that and admiring it. Now, once again, if the gut talk is like way over the belt, it's like not a six pack, like a keg, then I can't get with that. Now, if it's just reasonably like, okay, do me for a second. Can you stand up for a second?
Me?
Yes, you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. See that works.
I'll be back, y'all.
Yeah. That's
a moment.
No, and the fact that you had the costume on, we had all the audition, and had the semi hooker horror thing going, that could turn people on too. That could, no matter. And I put it like this: I would be completely transparent.
Yeah.
If she walked in with the hooker horror stuff on now, yeah, oh yeah,
Right.
yeah, not a problem.
Well, here's my thing. So you said like if you said if it was rolling over or something, but now how many times do we go to the beach, right? And men walk around like that and they're rolling over.
Yeah, that's
right?
disgusting.
And no, but guess what? Women do not sit on the beach and go, ew, he ought to. Do they? I don't.
I think some
Sometimes.
do. Yeah, some do.
Come on.
Yeah,
People, mind your damn business.
So-
really, why can't people be who they want to be and express themselves? That's
I'm all for it, but at the same time, I don't want to go blind.
Right.
Well, don't worry.
Yeah, no. Dude, don't get me wrong. Because like for example, I love my fellow man and woman so much, I would not even go out with no shirt on because they will lock me up because I look disgusting.
Oh, come on.
No, really, no. Look, I do. Look,
Chris, you look like a
on.
linebacker for the Bears.
but you haven't been in my home where I broke mirrors just by passing.
Oh my God!
Really. No, so I would respect my human race by not going out there because it's like he need to be donating his body to science fiction instead of what I'm saying. That's me.
Oh my God!
No, really. So I'm completely clothed. And even if I was to be intimate with a woman down the road, we do it with the lights off. I'm not a big fan of no leaks. I call her no. No leaks.
Nee.
I don't want anything to do with her. No.
Why?
But
Why aren't you?
Here's the thing. Because to me, I don't think she's talented, but I do give her credit for her agency. Whoever agency is, I don't know if it was California, New York, who made team leagues able to get notoriety. She was all over the place at one point. She was she had an NBC show at one point, the New Normal. They canceled. She was on Glee at one point, recurring role.
Right.
She danced with the stars. She's doing so. Whoever her agent is, they get all the credit.
The thing about Nene is it's not even an issue of talent. It really is about personality. And she is one of these personalities that once you get a whiff of it, once you get a gleam of this girl, it's going to pique your curiosity. Nene is the breakout star because Nene doesn't give a damn what you think.
That's right.
Yeah.
You cannot.
That's
you
right.
can judge her, but your judgment has no value. I do want to give out the blog address.
Of course.
It is Deborah, DEBORAH, ROWE, blogspot.com. And it's called Deborah's World. We also have a Facebook page. You can look us up on Facebook. And you can Twitter. Well, that would be tweet. You can tweet at Twitter.
Yeah.
Deborah __ world. Deborahs _ world. All right. We're going to run out of time giving out all these addresses and everything.
Speaking of tweet, I told a guy the other day that I was taking tweak lessons, but I really meant twerk. And my daughter told me.
Goodness gracious.
My daughter told me, Mom, stop listening to the radio. Gabrielle. She was like, you need to stop listening to the radio.
See, now that's another judgment that an older person shouldn't be twerking.
No,
it is.
Twerk. No, please. Okay.
Let me tell you what happened.
If you want to, I would not discriminate.
No, let me tell you what happened.
If you put like this, you don't have to twerk. You just sit down.
No. Okay. Well, hey.
I'll be back.
Hey, no, it don't take much for me. I'm sorry.
My oldest daughter is a dancer, and so like when twerking, like I was like, okay, so show me, like how to twerk. And she always shows me the latest dances. So she was showing me and my sister, and I couldn't do it. So I got kind of freaked out because I was like, wait a minute, there are muscles that I can't move. Is this a good thing? I don't think that's a good thing, no matter what the age. Now, that's an age problem. I think you should move your body.
I don't know if that's an age problem. That's a usability problem.
Right, but I mean, people when they get older, they should keep moving. They should,
That's true, too.
I'm not.
That's right.
Now, I'm not telling them to go to the club and twerk, but for real though, I'm not going to judge them if they do.
Right.
But I'm just saying the fact that I couldn't was, kind of scary. So yeah, I took a few twerk lessons. I was like, shoot,
good for you.
Yeah, I can't say I'm good at it, but
no. I mean, look, you doing anything. You can just sit there and start, just chatting away on your phone. It's okay by me,
Okay,
I'll be back.
He's going to have to be my new agent. I just got a new agent.
Hey,
too.
you can take two of them. I'll tell you this real quick about how people gravitate towards stuff.
Yeah.
Suzette Wright is another correspondent who does Urban Dialogue with me every fourth Wednesday here on Baseline. And so we were talking about when it comes to relationships, no matter what the age is and things like that, kind of similar to what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And I had mentioned that, well, what would you offer a woman, if you two were whatever? And I was saying, well, when that opportunity comes around, I like to give foot massages. I mean, that's always been my thing. And
that's a big winner. That's a huge plus.
No, I didn't know that, though.
You knew that.
But I put it like that. It has been a while. I want to make sure my technique was still good.
Okay.
I'm like Samuel L. Jackson, in going back to Pulp Fiction. Mm-hmm. I don't be tickling on nothing. So I had like these 2 or 3 women called up saying, yes, I call for the foot massage. I'm like, wait a minute. And you'd be surprised. I mean, once again, it's been a while. Mm-hmm. So I really need to practice. Because if I was to do that, I don't want to embarrass myself doing this. It's a technique, as you know.
Yes.
So I want to make sure that, and they were calling up, volunteering to, for me to get my technique on.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
I'm thinking I do.
He's pulling. He know what he doing. He know what he doing.
That's why I said I'll be back.
Right, I'm not going. Well, let me just tell you, I'm sure there are going to be some more phone calls for a foot massage. That's why I'm like, he knows what he's doing.
We've gotten people in this couple of hours here. They're sending email messages and private other messages. You can really just get on UBM and put a message up, or you can get on the fan page for Deborah's World. You can do Eibur. And you can call into the show and you can express yourself. It doesn't have to be in secret. We're not going to judge you. Hey, Dr. Ron.
Hey, Dr. Ron.
Well, hello there. How are you all doing?
Good.
I just had a question for Mr. Face.
Yes, sir.
Does his foot massage involve his tongue?
First of all, sir,
help us.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Help us.
Second of all, first, let me finish. And second of all, I do not reveal trade secrets.
Now I kind of see why Dr. Ron called in. There's a lot going on.
We got another caller here.
Cool.
Let's go to, Wesley.
This is actually his wife. This is Brenda. I think the phone.
Okay, yeah, because
Brenda.
There you go, Brenda. There you go.
Hi, Brenda. This is one of my besties. Hi, sweetie.
And I just want to let Eibur know how proud I am, and just to uplift her and Deborah as very talented women. My question is just around that. With us being, speak for everybody's age here, but, you know, for middle-aged women who maybe have stayed home or done different things, maybe spent time raising their children, and then find themselves ready to enter back in, or have, you know, had a foot in the marketplace along the way, but just that wasn't the full-time thing. But it just seems like the marketplace does not completely value to the extent that I think it needs to the skills and talents of women like us. So I would just like my dear friend and her dear friend and you, Chris, to just kind of give some thoughts to that and some insights and inspiration and hope for the ladies that bring a lot to the plate, but maybe that's just not recognized as much.
First of all, Brenda, I think that's a very good point that you raised. So thank you so much for doing that. First of all, we can kind of chime in on that.
To me, Brenda, one of the things I'm looking at in terms of women of all ages is that, especially for African American women, I want to say we have to start more of our own businesses, and that's why I was talking about it with Deborah. It's just true. I think more so I've heard, let me not say I think, but I've heard more so in America than in other countries, you know, we have more age discrimination. So, you know, I've been certainly trying to start my own business. Well, actually, what am I talking about? I've been hustling T-shirts and jewelry and makeup forever. And but I'm just thinking about doing more business building. Me and Deborah were talking about doing like an entrepreneurial hub where, you know, we got on people together to become entrepreneurs and things like that. And actually we become the big business. And the internet is such a great opportunity. Y'all grab it before they try to snatch that, you know.
I think, though, Brenda, that for me, I just want to just encourage everybody. And when we talk about middle-aged women and older, there does come a point where you just have to draw a line in the sand. Either you're going to continue to try to follow some path that you've pursued forever, or you're going to just strike and you're going to walk down a whole new path. And that's just really where I am. I have just decided for myself that I'm going to do what I want to do. And I mean that. I said it with that kind of emphasis. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to color my hair the color I want it to be.
Gorgeous.
I don't have to say it's this loudly, do I?
I love it.
But this is just how passionate I feel about this. I'm going to wear the kind of clothes that I want to wear. I'm going to pursue the kind of interest that I really, truly have. Now, we have to make money, but I think that if we work hard enough, if we are committed to what we do, that will come.
Yeah, and that passion cliche is real.
Yeah.
You know, like you be passionate about what you do. It's like we just spoke about Nene Leakes. It's her authenticity. That's
what it is.
Yeah, it's her passion to be in the spotlight, in the limelight, doing this. She's been, you know, trying to do it for years.
And that girl will twerk in front of anybody. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
I saw her twerk on Dance with the Stars. Back to her stripping days.
Twerk.
You know.
Yes, she did.
She did. Yeah, I saw her. I was watching that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think passion in anything you do, you don't have to be stripping, you know, it's going to be key.
Bye-bye. That was nice.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's just something to think about, because here's the thing. We all know this, and it's more for us than it is for you, Chris. But the older we get, the more people do want to judge you. What do you mean you're just going now to try and do this? What do you mean you're now going to try and pursue that? If anything, you need to go home. But no, we're not going to go home.
You know, one of the statistics that I read was that people who were retired did better in business simply because they could afford to. They could afford to make the mistakes, so they could afford to, you know, they had the income to support them while they built their business.
I wanted to get this in because this is something we had talked about on the radio page. Have you ever been offended in, talk about old, I have to put my glasses on to finish this question. Have you ever been offended in a public venue? How did you react? And I asked that question because I was talking to Eibur the other day, and Eibur quickly, but tell that story about what happened to you.
My son took me for Mother's Day to see the Book of Mormon. Yeah. everybody knows a Mormon. That's very religious people.
But the play, the
but
musical is not.
I didn't know what it was about.
Right.
So the opening number was "F-U God," and I was offended, and so I kept thinking, oh, I don't want God to strike this place dead strike this place with lightning while I'm sitting here. Or should I get up and leave before lightning strikes? And so then at the end of the song, sighed with relief, oh my God, the song is over. And they go for one last really strong F-U God. So, I mean, I couldn't take it anymore, so I screamed out, oh, fuck you! So I felt like I had done my part for God,
Now, when
I felt like I got back at you, right?
I mean, just for the record, God's a big boy. He doesn't need us to defend him.
Yeah,
so people will know that.
But I'm on his team.
Yeah, there you go.
They were clapping. It was the end of the song. So the people around me heard, and they laughed. And my daughter thought it was hysterical. My son told me, they go digging for your sensibility. So I did do that. I didn't mean to do it. It just kind of came out my mouth because I thought it was over and I could breathe a sigh of relief and God's not going to strike me dead for sitting here. And so, and then they just had one big last one. I know they did that just for me. And so I just had to, back at you.
See, that's what I was interested in. How do people react when they are offended in a public venue, in a public place? Maybe you're in a restaurant and there's a couple and they're just kissing and the tongues are licking each other's cheeks and the guy jams his hand down the girl's blouse. That would be offensive to some people. How do you react? And Chris, I think you are another one, like, you're not going to hold back too much.
No, first of all, I would probably say go. Go team. I would be for both of them. Just please, because they're about to get some and I'm not. Pro is about being pro your own. Look, if I ain't gonna get some, I'm gonna be happy for you. Go get it.
Eibur, we're not going to talk about your project that you've done your audition and stuff for. I don't want to mention that yet.
Okay, not yet.
But I do want everybody to know that you have a great song. That she knows I love this song. Yeah, she's got a song.
I have a song,
and I intentionally didn't play it today. I intentionally didn't because I want people to.
My sister will kill you.
I'm sorry about that, but I want people to kind of just mull this over in their heads, and then we want to get it up. And when we come back, and it'll be a month, I want everybody to have listened to this show. We're going to put it up, or I want them to
I'll
actually
remix it.
Where can they? Okay, you'll remix it.
Yeah, I'll remix it.
Oh my God, it's super. She knows how much I love this song.
Yeah,
she knows how much I love this song.
This has been fantastic. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Eibur.
Thank you both.
And once again, this has been a launch. For this for a very long time. My heart is soaring. Thank you very much, Deborah.
Chris, my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me. Remember, visit deborahrowe.blogspot.com to take a look at Deborah's World. Visit me also on Facebook at Deborah's World. It's a personal blog. And Eibur, where can they hook up with you?
Facebook. I don't have that together, y'all. I got a Twitter and stuff like that. But let me just say blessings. Y'all know I love you. Peace and love.
And we are out of here. Once again, Deborah Rowe brings us Deborah's World every second Monday of the month. Looking forward to next month. And thank you for listening. Chris Bass and Baseline, UBM Talk, UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. Take care.